It is an existential crisis that we are going through just for the fact that we wake up and do the same controlled crap every day. Does it have to be this way? No. But the sad thing is that most people don't even know that it's happening. That's the most annoying thing to those that are awake, is that most people don't even know that they're being manipulated. And that's the whole thing about being manipulated, is you don't even realize it's happening. It's all mental. Now, if someone was physically to do something to you, if you was physically to get sucked into anything, then yeah, you'd realize it. But they want to make sure that everything's on the mental level, and so that you'll actually believe, that it won't go down into your emotions and in a physical experience. You'll just be mentally being a slave, basically, and not even realizing that it's happening. And they've just, over the ages, they've just gotten better at this. If we create all this technology, if we create all this, quote unquote convenience, then they'll just slave until they quote unquote die, because they won't even realize that they're a slave. Every time you try to say anything to somebody, they think you're crazy or something's wrong with you, when really, you're just awoken. And how did you get awoken? Well, most of the time it's because something happened to you in your life and it just woke you up. It's just like being asleep and then you wake up because of some disturbance, right? Because you weren't a good enough slave, because you didn't follow orders good enough. And the mind just went haywire. It's like, what's going on? What is this? And it's like, you know what? There's got to be more than this. And then you look into it, and there are things out there in the world today to help people wake up now. There weren't always. It used to be that you would just be a slave, and if something happened, you might get over it. There wasn't anything there to help wake you up. But now there is. And people are waking up and saying, F this, crap, yeah. And these so-called elites, they don't like that. They're like, well, we got to fix it to where they don't rebel against us. And if something like that doesn't happen soon, I mean, there's always been instances throughout life where people, crash the stock market, things like that. That's just one example. There have always been instances throughout time to convince people that, okay, everything's all right. But, nothing has ever really been all right in this world. People are always suffering in some way. It is an existential crisis. Yes. We are living in a world that is full of deception, and so that no one will realize they're being controlled. Because, if you think like that, you're a loser. You need to find ways to survive. How else is this stuff going to get done? Well, how about if we just have, a couple people come in a couple days a week and stop making everything so expensive? But that's just it. Because these people are evil, I say, and they love to create havoc. And that's why we're going through this. It's because of them. It's not because of us. We don't give a fuck. We want to have peace and quiet. We understand what's going on. We know how things can be and how they ain't. And that's what makes us who we are and who they are. There's two kinds of people in this world. The people that, it's like when you care, you don't really care. And it's like when you don't care, you made out to care. Everything's backwards, right? We don't give a fuck about this crap. We want things the way they ought to be. And they just want us to be slaves and just be quiet and fall in line and Yeah, just shut your mouth. Do what we say. And then they go off in their little back room and just laugh the fuck out of us like they're falling for it. Yeah, it's an existential crisis, guys. We are living in a time where if things don't change, then, you know, I can't imagine why the population would get any greater. But then again, there's always going to be ignorance, and people are always going to be wanting to have children because they think it's going to give their life meaning. That sums it up, guys. It's just an accident waiting to happen. Anything go wrong in life, it's pretty much not your fault unless you just knowingly and purposely, try to do something. But most of the time, it's going to be because of something that happened to you before in your mind or whatever, or just, something going on around you. It's hardly anything that happens in this world is anybody's fault. The only thing that is people's fault is the ones that don't do anything about it or create it in the first place. It's getting to that point, guys. It already has gotten to that point, but now it's getting to the point to where if things don't change, then yeah, you thought the crash of 29 was bad. You thought the planned pandemic was bad. Oh, wait until you see what happens next. There's going to be all kinds of people are going to wake up and rebel, and World War III, whatever you want to call it. Something's going to have to happen because things just simply can't continue like this. I've heard it said how we enter the apocalypse from Adamus on Crimson Circle. Of course, you can believe all that stuff, but I believe that we have definitely reached that period where there's so much light and awakening on the earth that something's going to have to happen, guys. Yeah. Well, if it doesn't, it ain't gonna be pretty, guys. Black Hole Handle it up. I don't know what else to say for now. Another day.